What's up, my ninjas, and Happy New Year. I figured I'd start off the new year with something I did as opposed to something, that I completely bought in the store and is completely, what we're used to. So you guys know I was a huge DCUC person, and I think this was wave 16, was kind of a meh for me. There was rampant QC issues, and just the fact that they released this Batman who had some things that were really nice, like the double jointed knees, but then they didn't release like the next version of him, kind of pissed me off. So even though I got him, I wanted him to look more like what Jim Ballant and Kelly Jones and all them drew in the comics, which is this version right here with the cape instead of the spines. Now, I can't remember if this is what Bruce was wearing when he took the suit back, when he came back as Batman, or if this is just a later version of Azrael in the, as Batman. And I'm pretty sure it's Azrael as Batman. But as you can see, it's a little sleeker. It doesn't look all clunky with that big ass thing on his back. DC Direct made a version, which is this right here. It looks pretty nice. Shit, it kind of looks better than the DCUC one. But anyway, I wanted to do something that's kind of in between the two. So here is my custom. Essentially, all he needed was a custom cape. So I did the custom cape treatment on him. The shoulder pads came from the gauntlets that he had that connected to the weird backpack thing. And I was like, that's pretty much, I'm going to find a way to reuse it, not just cut it off and throw it away. Because it looked redundant, all this crap on his hands. So what I did was, essentially, I cut a custom cape like I would do for my usual Batman figures, and pretty much just, sized it the way I normally size it, and attached it on top of the shoulder pads that he already had to hide the slots that those big spines fit into. And then it kind of just, it took a little while. I let the glue sit for a while. I tried to make sure that the cape itself fit in the recesses, so that way it wouldn't just fall out like you're gluing, fabric to plastic without any type of like fitting to it, so it fit in there. And then I tried to make sure that he still had a range of motion in his shoulders. So, and they did a good job with that. So I didn't have to do much work with that. I mean, I cut away little bits and pieces, but this is one of the most posable Batman figures, at least in the lower half. So like, his arms are kind of what we're used to with DCUCs, but his legs, I mean, he's got double jointed knees, and none of the other Batman in the line, except for in the DC Superheroes line, none of the Batmen had double jointed knees. But anyway, I cut the thing off of his wrists that connected to the backpack. And all I did was cut it, just one slit, and then and I cut it where it kind of looked like it connected, like it was resting against something. Cut that, opened it out, and glued it right on top of the shoulder pad that the cape is resting on now, and that was glued down on top of. And I made sure I cut off the exact same amount on both sides so that they're symmetrical, and then I just put them on top, and I let the glue sit. Next thing you know, we had this. So it's a real simple custom. You could easily do it. If you guys had questions about it and you want me to show you, I could easily go back and, explain to you what I did, but, in more detail. But I think it's pretty self-explanatory. When you look at the parts, you'll see what what was removed. But so the hands look more like the Jim Ballant version, where he didn't have these compound bracelet things over his actual forehand and, part of his forearm. There's no ammo belt getting in the way, and you have just complete freedom with his hands. And this is all not to say that you didn't already have a decent amount of freedom with his hands the way it was. It's just, for me, I prefer not having shit connected to his hands. So there's the backpack. You can see it like a reactor or something like that. I don't know. You can use your imagination, but all I did was cut the the ammo belt, and that's it. So I don't know if that could be like a gravitational unit or something, but you can use your imagination for that. You can see, though, the way the cape drapes and the way that his legs work It really helps him get that Batman feeling with him, you know, back arched, neck facing forward, like kind of jutted out the way it does. And I know that Bruce isn't in this suit, but like in my Batcave, I have all these different suits, and I pretend this is a survival suit essentially. He modified Azrael's suit after he beat him and turned it into a survival suit. So, you know, instead of having a big clunky Thrasher suit, which at some point I will own, I figured this could be like the holdover, you know, because this was pretty much designed to beat Bane. So it would work well if he was like in a super hostile environment or something, and he needed that extra boost of energy, you know, extra boost of strength and firepower and whatever you want to call it, you know. So I don't know. That's it. That's me playing around with existing DCUCs, you know. Um, like I told you before, it's a really simple custom. If you guys want, you know, a cape to go with yours so that you can do this custom, let me know. I can easily show you how to do it, like I said earlier. And that's really it. I think it looks really cool. It looks like that freaking costume is housing a lot of weaponry. Like there's missiles under there and those shoulder pads or something, because those are some big ass shoulder pads. But the shoulder pads make it easier for you to have the cape sit and drape the right way. So, you know, that was easy for me, and it made it look a lot more epic, in my opinion. So now he's ready for whatever you want to put him up against. So anyway, I hope you guys had an awesome Christmas and an awesome New Year. We have an Off Our Brains kind of on the way. And of course, you know, I always am going to have a ton of reviews for you guys. Since we're starting off a new year, once again, I'm still in line with the things that make me happy as opposed to more of the things that piss me off. I mean, you might hear a little bit more of that in the Off Our Brains, but these reviews are going to be strictly figures that I love and that I like that make me happy. So that's where I'm going with this. So I hope you guys dug it. It's been my review of my custom Knightfall Batman, and peace outside.